Well, hey, time for the children's message. Caught up to the screen. I wish I could see you through the screen. I like to jokingly, I'll say I can't because I have x-ray vision, but not really. Sorry, not really. I kind of wish I could, though. And we really, Pastor Gene and I just continue to really miss having you with us here, especially as we gather in worship. I really hope soon, but I think it's going to be a while yet before we can come together. Which means we're still waiting, aren't we? We're waiting for that. Waiting for a lot of things. I mean, the first thing we're waiting for, let's be honest, let's be brutally honest, what are you waiting for right now most of all? You're waiting for Christmas, right? You know, because we got past Thanksgiving, we're right on the verge of December, and Christmas is like staring us in the face. And boy, I remember when I was a kid, I couldn't wait for Christmas. I'll bet you can't either. So we're waiting for Christmas. But like I said, we're also waiting for the day when we can get back together again. I'm guessing a lot of you are waiting for the day that you can go back to school and see your friends, right? Or maybe you're waiting for that time when you can get together with your family. Maybe you haven't seen grandma for a while, or your cousins, or other people who are important. Just a lot of waiting going on in our world. A lot of waiting. You know, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I think Pastor Gene talked about it a couple weeks ago in the sermon. But it showed up again in our gospel reading today that we use for this particular Sunday. And Andy Bockham, Mr. Bockham read the gospel reading for our video worship, and I asked him if he'd do it for us too, okay? So Andy, take it away.
A reading from Mark. Jesus said, "But in those days after that suffering, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will be falling from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. Then he will send out the angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of the heaven. From the fig tree, learn its lesson. As soon as its branch becomes tender and puts forth its leaves, you know that the summer is near. So also, when you see things taking place, you know that it is near, at the very gates. Truly, I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But about that day or hour, no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Beware, keep alert, for you do not know when the time will come. It is like a man going on a journey, when he leaves home and puts his slaves in charge, each with his work, and commands the doorkeeper to be on the watch. Therefore keep awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening, or at midnight, or at cockcrow, or at dawn, or else he may find you asleep when he comes suddenly. And what I say to you, all keep awake."
So did you catch what Andy read? It's from the Gospel of Mark, and he read about Jesus talking about waiting for Jesus. Because someday, might be today, might be next Tuesday, might be a week after Christmas, or it might be 100 years from now, Jesus will come again. And so we're waiting for that, aren't we? We're waiting for Jesus to come again. So we'll just add that to our list. So we got Christmas, and we got coming back to worship, and going back to school, and seeing our family and friends, and now we add Jesus to the list. We are waiting for a boatload of stuff, aren't we? And if you're like me, that is really, really hard. But you know something else? When Jesus says that we need to wait, he's also saying something else. You know what he's saying? Mark my words, I am coming back. Right. I mean, if we're going to wait for Jesus, that sort of implies that Jesus is going to come, we think. And if Jesus is the one telling us to wait for him, wow, Jesus is making a promise, isn't he? I mean, we got to wait, I know, but the promise is Jesus is going to come again. Just like Christmas will get here. And just like someday we'll be able to worship again. And just like someday you'll get to go back to school. And just like someday all your family and friends can get together again. And we can do all of that. You know why? Because God is in control of our world. Think about that for a moment. Okay, so think of like when you're in the car, okay, and your mom or your dad are driving, who's controlling the car? Well, mom and dad are, right? They got the steering wheel, and they got the shifter or the gear shifter, and they got their foot on the accelerator and the pedal, and if you got a really cool kind of car, you got a clutch. I like a car with a clutch. If you don't know what that is, ask your dad. He can tell you all about a clutch. So your mom or dad, they drive the car and they're controlling it, aren't they? They're making sure it goes where it needs to go and gets there in a safe time. That's kind of like God. God's in control of our world. And sometimes when we're living our days and the pandemic, COVID is really scary, or we miss our friends, or we can't see grandma, or we're just getting anxious because it's time for Christmas, I want Christmas. We begin to think maybe the world's out of control. But remember what Jesus says. Jesus says, be alert. That's what he said in the gospel reading. Keep watching, keep waiting, because Jesus makes a promise. And the promise is that Jesus is driving the car. He's driving our world and our lives. And when the time is right, it'll be okay. Until then, we've got to be a little patient. We've got to wait, be patient, and trust Jesus. Trust Jesus, because Jesus loves you so much. Do you know how much Jesus loved you? Do you remember? What did Jesus do to show you how much he loved you? He came in a manger, right? Got born in a manger. And then he grew up. And then what did he do? Remember? He died on the cross. And he died on the cross for you. Okay, for your brother or your sister too. But for you. He died on the cross for you. That's how much Jesus loves you. And so just remember that when the world gets really crazy, when things seem out of control, when we're just dying because we can't wait any longer, Jesus is still in control. He says wait, and that's hard to do because I'm telling you, I get it. It's hard for me to do. But just wait and be patient because I got your back. I haven't forgotten about you. And I will come again. And until then, I will hold you, I will keep you in my embrace, and I will never, ever, ever let you go. Okay? Keep thinking about this week. So, let's see. Watch the videos at church, on the church website, because we're going to have a Wednesday night Advent service this week. It's coming, first Wednesday of Advent. First Wednesday of December, and then the second Wednesday of December, and then the third Wednesday of December is the Children's Christmas program. Woohoo! I can't wait for that. That's always fun. Okay? And know that we care for you too. Next weekend, I think Pastor Jean's got the children's message, so she'll be here, and I won't. I'll be doing the big person's message. Big person's message? The regular worship message. You know what I'm talking about. I hope you watch that too, okay? So thanks a lot, and you take care of yourself. Bye-bye.